So if you've been following my channel for a while, you'll know that I'm a big fan of solar lights. I actually have 12 of them scattered across my yard. I have string lights hanging from my pergola. I have landscape lights across the yard. I also have some motion lights. And I love solar lights for a couple main reasons. And first is that you don't need to know anything about electrical setup or running electrical wire throughout your yard. You literally just take these out of the box, turn on the solar panel, put them in the sun, and they kind of do their own thing. And most are essentially maintenance free because they have light sensors on them. So when it gets dark out, it automatically turns on the solar light. The light will run until it either runs out of battery or it gets light out again, and then it'll shut it off and then it'll start charging again. And recently I've been looking for a new solar light that I could use to light up my pathway. I have a stairs that leads to a path to my front door that at nighttime can be a little bit tricky, so I wanted to light it up for anyone that might be coming near dusk or at night. And I came across this 4-pack of landscape lights by a company called LITOM, and I just want to review them for you in case you're looking for something similar, maybe something to light up a pathway, light up your landscaping or that sort of thing. And I got these off Amazon, came quick, great price. I'll put a link in the description below so you can check them out. The outside packaging was very nice, everything looked very professional. Inside the box you get 4 of these landscape solar lights. These lights look like basically any other lights that you would see in a Home Depot or something like that, but what they did here is they extended the top of the light and made the whole thing a solar panel. The front of it is made up of all these LEDs that are obviously the light portion, and then they also added a motion sensor to this light. And I'll get into that motion sensor in just a minute here. Also in the box you get screws and wall plugs for wall mounting this. And you also get stakes in case you want to just stake these in the yard rather than wall mounting. And the only other thing is the user manual. And there's a knob here that you can untwist to adjust the angle of the light. Once you have the angle the way you want it, you just twist it and tighten it back up and it's set. And then last, there's just a power button here on the back that you press to get into the specific mode that you want the light to be in. And these lights come with 3 different modes on them, and as you press this button, this power button, it'll tell you which mode it's going to by the number of flashes that it does. So for instance, you press the power button once, the light will flash once, and you know that you're in mode 1. You press the power button again, the light will flash twice, and you'll know you're in mode 2. And then you press the power button again, the light will flash 3 times, and you know you're in mode 3. And mode 1 is called dim light sensor mode. Basically what will happen is the light will come on at night, but it will be just a dim light, and then as it detects motion, the light will get brighter for 30 seconds, and then once the motion is gone, it'll go back to a dim light. Mode 2 is called medium light stay on mode, which basically the light will just turn on at night. It'll be medium light, and it'll just stay on medium, no motion sensing at all. And mode 3 is called sensor mode, which, as you can guess, the light will be off, but if it detects motion, it'll shine a bright light for 30 seconds, and then once the motion is gone, the light will just completely turn off again. And if you press the power button for a 4th time, the light will just be completely turned off and won't turn on at night. I like these 3 modes. I like the first one. I think that's great for a path where it's dim, but then lightens up more as someone walks by. The second one, that's great for if you want to light up your landscaping or your house the entire night. It just stays on at the same brightness. And number 3 is kind of more of a security motion sensing mode. So for those that want something like that, you have that option too. And a lot of people want to know how sensitive the motion detecting is. I will say that it's pretty sensitive. If I get within 20 feet of it, moving straight at it, it definitely detects me every single time. From the sides, it's not quite as sensitive, but it still seems to detect me every single time. And actually, temperature does play a factor when it comes to sensitivity of the motion sensor. The colder it gets out, the less sensitive the motion detector will be. Now, obviously, with these being landscape lights, these are going to be waterproof, they're going to be heat resistant and frost resistant. So no matter what kind of climate you're putting these in, they should be just fine outside no matter what. For instance, I live in Minnesota, which obviously has some pretty extreme temperatures, and they survived the first snowfall and the first frost just fine. Now, I used the stake, and I staked them in along the path to my front door, and I turned them on, and I forgot about them the entire day, let them soak up the sun, and at night they came on, and they looked terrific in my opinion. And I used mode 1, which is the dim light, so it had a light on the path the entire night, but as someone walks by it, it brightens up so that you can see more of where you're going. I really, really like this mode. So I put 3 of them on that path, and then I put the 4th one I installed onto my siding and had it aimed at one of my fence gates so that if someone walks in that I'm not expecting, it shines a bright light on them. And for this one, I have it on the 3rd mode, which is the sensor mode, so that it's more of a security light than it is a landscape light. For runtime, things are going to vary greatly depending upon how much sun they get, what mode you're in, and that sort of thing. For me, for the ones on my path out front that are on mode 1 throughout the entire night, I've woken up and they're still on at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and they come on at around 7 o'clock at night. So I fully expect that you can get most of the night out of these things. And the one that's in sensor mode is going to last the entire night because it soaks up the sun and then only turns on as it detects motion. So it should last the entire night. Even on mode 2, where it's just on the entire time till it runs out of batteries, I fully expect that you could probably get 6+ hours, maybe perhaps all night on a sunny day. So in my opinion, these are a keeper. I really like them. I'm going to keep them. I think the 4-pack is perfect for what I use them for. Like I said, I only needed 3 to light up a pretty long pathway. And then I have the 4th one as kind of a security light. So I'm pretty happy with this purchase. Again, if you want to check them out, link in the description below. Appreciate you guys watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Catch you on the next video.